So, the science of why most students forget what they study. Let me tell you a fact that you should change as a Cambridge or IB student of how you revise tonight. You know what? You forget 70% of what you have studied within 24 hours. It is not because you are not smart, not because you didn't study hard enough, but your brain has a biological memory architecture. And the way most students revise is working directly against it. This is called the forgetting curve. And it was discovered in 1885. It's still destroying students' results today. Hello, learner. I am Karishma, and in 12 years as a Cambridge and IB facilitator, I have seen exactly what happens when students learn to work with this curve instead of against it. In today's video, I'm going to show you the science behind forgetting curve, the 3 study habits that guarantee maximum forgetting, and the exact technique that flips this from 70% memory loss to 90% plus retention. Now, let me tell you why I became obsessed with this learning science. Before I became a Cambridge and IB facilitator, I was preparing for one of the most competitive entrance exam, and I was studying chemistry organic reaction for hours. Feeling confident walking into practice test, but completely blank when I appeared for main test. I thought I wasn't smart enough. I wasn't until I moved into teaching and started systematically analyzing Cambridge marking scheme, IB frameworks, and learning science and memory research. I found the real answer that the memory wasn't broken. Study method was fighting against how memory actually works. So there is a scientist named as Hermann Ebbinghaus. He discovered forgetting curve in 1885. It's been validated across 140 years of research. And the majority of students are still unknowingly working against it every single day. Here are the specific numbers, and once you see them, you will never think about revision the same way again. So, Ebbinghaus' research shows exactly how fast memory decays without strategic review or revision. All right. So, let's say 24 hours after studying, you retain only 33% of information. 48 hours of study down to 28%, and 6 days only 25% remains accessible. And by 31st day, practically 21%, almost nothing. And here's what makes this critical. This happens regardless of how hard you study, how intelligent you are, or how many hours you have logged in. The forgetting curve is not a personal failure, it's a biological reality. But this is the finding that changes everything. Dr. Pierre Wozniak's research at the University of Warsaw proved that spaced repetition can completely reverse this curve. So instead of 70% memory loss, you can achieve 90% retention. The same content, same student, and a completely different review architecture. This is how to study effectively actually means at a neurological level. Not more hours, not better notes, a study system built around when your brain reviews information, not just what it reviews. Before I show you the solution, you need to see the 3 specific habits that's guaranteeing maximum forgetting right now. So the first mistake is masked practice. You are studying IGCSE biology, photosynthesis for 3 hours straight, and don't touch it again until exam week. The result is the forgetting curve has erased 70% of that session within 24 hours. 3 weeks of work, one day gone. This feels productive. It is the single most inefficient way to build memory. The second mistake is passive rereading. I keep on talking about it a lot. Rereading with your Cambridge chemistry notes feels like learning, right? But Jeffrey Karpike at Purdue University proved that it creates an illusion of knowing. You recognize information when you see it, but when your brain has built zero retrieval pathways. So recognition and recall are completely different cognitive processes. Your Cambridge exam tests only one of them. Third mistake is input without output. You spend 2 hours reading, but you spend 0 minutes testing. But Dr. Karpike's research shows that one retrieval session produces more long-term retention than 10 rereading sessions of the same material. If you recognized yourself with any of those 3, you are not failing because you're not trying. You're failing because your method is designed to forget. Now, before I give you the exact schedule, let me show you what happens when you replace those 3 mistakes with the right system. So James came to us at K-Prep studying 8 hours a day for IGCSE physics and chemistry, rereading chapters, highlighting key points, making detailed notes. Predicted B in both subjects. We didn't add content. We didn't add past papers. We just changed one simple thing, That is when and how he reviewed information with regular tests spaced accordingly, building his revision around the forgetting curve instead of against it. 6 weeks later, A in both physics and chemistry, just 6 weeks. Study time reduced from 8 to 5 hours, but more productive. He did cover more material. He stopped losing 70% of every session to forgetting curve and started building permanent retention instead. And here's exactly what we did. One schedule, 5 review points, built directly on Ebbinghaus forgetting curve data. So day 1, initial study plus immediate active recall done by K-Preps educators. Study IGCSE chemistry iconic morning, let's say. Immediately close everything. Tutor will ask the questions at a 5-minute timer. Write every concept, every process, every definition you can retrieve from memory on a blank paper and no prompts. Check, mark every gap. Those red sections are the exact way where you need to revise. Dr. Robert Bjork at UCLA proved that discomfort of struggling to recall something you half remember isn't a sign of weakness. It's your brain building a permanent neural pathway. He calls this desirable difficulty. The harder retrieval, the stronger the memory. Day 2 is now first review before curve hits. 24 hours later, and that is where actually the homeworks come into picture. Before the forgetting curves reaches its steepest point, retest yourself, close everything, retrieve again, only review the sections where retrieval failed. This is not rereading, this is the targeted retrieval exercise. Day 4, second review. So now here you're going to consolidate your memory. Same retrieval process. At this point, the memory is beginning to consolidate. The review takes a fraction of original study time because you are only targeting genuine gaps and not converting the content you have already retained. 10th day, third review. Long-term memory formation. By this point, James could explain momentum, James could explain chemistry, like ionic bonds, and apply both to novel exam scenarios. This is what how to study for exams means at K-Preps. Not familiarity, but retrievable, transferable knowledge. In the final review, permanent retention on day 30. This single session closes the loop. Research confirms the student who complete all 5 review points achieve retention rates above 90% at exam time compared to the student who's just study once and move on. The only variable is the review architecture. That's all. And I'm sure it's very easy to even apply into your regular life. So you just don't need every time educators helping you with this. You can do it yourself. So IGCSE chemistry, whether you are in Cambridge, IB, AP, Edexcel, Australian curriculum, any curriculum, and you follow application-based exam, this is what you should be doing to make sure that you retrieve, you retain maximum information that you have studied, and then you're able to apply in your exams. I hope this small video of helping you understand how to study better is actually letting you understand clearly what to study and how to study. Signing off for today.